What is happening, troops? Hello there. Hiya. You alright? You're alright. Welcome to twitch.tv/1030. I'm 1030. The music you've just been listening to is made by my good friend, Quiet and Peaceful Man, and you can check him out on the internet. And Hal has just put that in chat. Hello, how you doing? Welcome in. At the start of the stream, we like to share good news. So, if you've got any good news, I would like to know what your good news is. Got to stick it in the chat. I'll start at the top. I will say hello to Bromo69. I'll say hello to Animated Gamer. I'll say hello to Carivore. Hello, Weeshed. How you doing? Beneath the headphones, hiya. Big Scary Deer, hiya. Bowdy, what's happening? Candlelight, how you doing, Candlelight? What's happening? Lucy Kelly, Skywatcher. Beneath headphones again. Steph Makes Stuff, hello Steph Makes Stuff, welcome in, what's even happening? What's happening? What is happening, Candlelight? Hello M-Gens, hello Jebaru, it's me. And it's you, Jebaru. How are you doing? Welcome in, you are the troops, you are here. The Black Squadron, massive. Because you're here right at the start and I very much appreciate that. It's important that you are on time, because I'm obviously on time. I've started bang on 1:30. I haven't, I was very late. I've got something to show you. Do you want to see it? Pedropolis, you're a wee bit late, because you were on a different tab. You should be on the right tab. I've got something to show you. Hello Valdrakian, hello, how you doing? Valdrakian, can we get a meeting in? Maybe on... Do you know, I don't even know when I can do it. Tomorrow I think Pip's in London. I'll message you. Do you want to see something? I made a thing. Do you want to see it? I 3D printed a big thing. Look at this. Look at this. That's alright, isn't it? Do you think about that? So what's that? What is that exactly? It's no finished, right? However, this is an intercom that's supposed to be on a spaceship. So this is mounted to the wall of a spaceship. And I'm going to put like a wee sort of bit round about it, like a wee, almost so that it looks like a rain hood. You know what I mean? Might go up at an angle. Just like, I mean, it'll be indoors, but I want to give it the visual language of a phone box, right? Not a phone box, you've maybe got like a wee sort of, a wee lip, like a wee bonnet, as if it was wearing a cap. Right, but look at that, look at that. So what does it do? What does it do? What does it do? Well, remember a wee while ago, I was showing you these? Look at these. So this is a CRT television. And using my brain, I've managed to put... I mean, these wires will mess it up, right? But let's just pretend. I've managed to make a thing so that it slots pure lovely in there like that. So then on the front, you're getting, you know what I mean? And then a wee camera goes in here. And then I've not decided what I was doing here, so I've just cut a hole in it and I'll print something else that interfaces with this nicely. But the idea is that these phone devices sort of makes that hang here. So it'll look kind of like this. Right? And then that's like a nice wee lovely two-way intercom. So the deal is, in order for a two-way intercom to exist, you need two of these. So I've successfully 3D printed one, and the reason that I'm late today is because I was wrestling with my 3D printer upstairs, because I'm just at the start of trying to print a second. So, if I look at this, we can see that the second print is on its way. So I hope that's all good. Basically, say with a 3D printer, if the first layer goes down well, you're alright. However, this first layer was not going down well, and because I need a stream, I needed to start streaming. I couldn't afford to hang about and ensure that the first layer is going down well. And so that means that in just a wee second, we need to go upstairs and we need to have a wee look and see if the first layer's going down. But so far, I've tested out the wee camera in it. I've tested out this interface. It just slides in brilliant. And like the screen mates the top really, really nicely. Look at this. Look at that wee screen. Just meeting it at the top really nicely. So what I might do if I've got time is like create a wee sort of bezel, like a wee frame that goes round about it. But I think this is quite nifty. I think this is pretty cool. So I'd be quite keen on like eventually painting it and stuff like that. However, before I do all of that, I need to sort out the electronics. So I've got two of these phone things, like this. And these phone things, it's basically this sort of connection, a tip ring sleeve, right? So I've got a TRRS breakout that breaks that out into ground and all the stuff, because this is just essentially a speaker and a microphone, right? And so if there's one of them at both sides, the TRRS breakout goes into a preamp that then I think has to go into an actual amp. Also, I've got hook switches. Remember this wee switch? So this is a bit, I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go, but for this phone to hang here, right? So I need to build something that slots in there and can like receive a phone, right? So I'll need to maybe 3D model this shape. However, when the phone is like in position, it should actuate this hook switch, which is a switch that's designed for detecting if a phone is on it. I'm not too sure how that's going to work. So I'll need to maybe build something in here that's like, I don't know. We're going to have an LED that's inside it, that's maybe round about the handset. And so the deal is that there'll be a piezo, so not a speaker. I'm keeping it kind of lo-fi, just bleeps and bloops. So there'll be a piezo here, and then the handset hook switch here, and an Arduino Nano. I thought I broke that, I didn't. It just made a good noise. And so the Arduino Nano knows when the other phone has been picked up. So you don't need to dial or anything. The idea is that when the other side has picked up the phone, this side will start ringing and flashing. And then when this side picks up the phone, you've got two-way communication with video and audio. And it's just analog. No HDMI, no Wi-Fi needed. None of that pish, just analog going through RCA. And I think that's quite exciting and ambitious and all of that sort of stuff. So that's what I intend to do today, is create an intercom based on this brand new 3D printed fucking thing. Look at that, what? I think it's cool. Also, the wee camera that I've got that goes in here, I did a wee test fit and I pushed it in and it's just perfect. It's absolutely perfect, like friction fit. You're like, oh ho ho. And when I put it in, it meets the surface and it's all nice and flush and stuff like that. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. So I'm in the middle of 3D printing another one of these. But for the past hour, I've been trying to get this bloody 3D print to work. And it's not really working very good. So I'll need to go upstairs, have a wee look and see if it's in full swing yet. But I'll do that in a wee minute. First, I want to say hiya, how's it going? At the start of the stream, what we like to do is share good news. So if you've got any good news, please stick it in the chat. My good news is that everything's all happening. Also, right, today at 3:30, I've got a production meeting with a guy who might be getting us more money for the Scroobius Pip film, potentially, or at least pointing out opportunities that may or may not be available to us. So that's all quite exciting. So that means I'll need to be boosting about 3:15 or something. if that's alright. But I'll be on later because I've got a hell of a lot of work to do with this intercom project, and I would like to have all the electronics finished tonight. That's quite ambitious. So after the meeting, I'll probably jump back on. Anyway, do you have any good news? What's your good news? Do you know what I was thinking about doing? I was thinking about ordering a wee dirty takeaway because I've not had breakfast or lunch yet. And I was thinking, here, who dares me to just order just a wee bit of food? The problem is, though, most places where I can order food support the IDF, and so I can't really support them. Do you know what I mean? I could get it at Greg's, but that's owned by BlackRock. It's difficult. It's B. Dolan in. Dolan, can you tell me where it is legally okay for me to order food? Thanks. Big Scary Deer's in with a good bit of good news. Big Scary Deer says, good news. My gaffer is off tomorrow till next Wednesday, so I have some peace. That's amazing, Big Scary Deer. Feet up, man. Twitch on. Hello, Chameleon. Welcome in. Chameleon says, afternoon, folks. Good news. I found out that an American football team plays like a 10-minute walk from my house, and the games are only a £5. And there is a game on Sunday, so I'm going to go and check it out. And if it's pish, it was only a £5. That's it, Chameleon. That's class. Supposed to be the best thing that you can spend money on is experiences like that. If it's pish, it's only a £5. Imagine you're right into it. I wouldn't know how to do it. I wouldn't know how to watch and know what's going on. Stoppage time and all that. What? But I hope you enjoy yourself. Let us know how it goes. Hello Echo Thump, hello Pedropolis, hello The Mayor Returns, and hello again Valdrakian. Did you see the Palo Alto Elon Musk crosswalk yet? Don't know what that is. I know all of those words individually, but I don't know what they mean together. I did see a video of Jeffrey Bezos going to meet Katy Perry, who's just came down for space. This is a true sentence. And he decked it. He fell over and landed on his face. When Katy Perry came down from space, Jeffrey Bezos fell and landed on his face. What a disgrace. MGen says, good news, I got diagnosed with ADHD at 34. Congratulations, MGens. If you don't mind me asking, did you do it through the NHS or a private thing, or how did you do it? Because I want to get an assessment. Feels like I understand a lot more of my lack of self-worth and confidence and some of the anxiety and depression I've felt for most of my life. Also was able to get some medicine prescribed and it seems to be helping. MGens, that's amazing. How did you achieve it? I've been trying to achieve this for a wee bit. See, just knowing that it's it is like technically you, but you know what I mean? See, just knowing that it's all like a thing and there's support for it and stuff like that. Oh my goodness me. MGens, congratulations. I'm in the middle of corresponding with my local MP who's investigating why the NHS have shut down ADHD services in my area. Amazing, Valdrakian, that's wonderful. Excellent, I'll give you a shout. So how's it all going, man? Pedropolis says it looks a bit like half an iPhone. Good. So that was one of the considerations, is I wanted it to look industrial. I wanted it to look as if it belonged on a spaceship. So industrial just means like not much design in it, just pure functional. But I did want it to remind you of a communications device. So I've curved the top to look a bit like an iPhone and to look a bit like an old school like payphone a wee bit. But the proportions are different, so it looks a bit space. Also, this wee screen bit, the rounded corner, is concentric to the rounded corner on the outside. Well, that was pish. Let's try that again. Wee second. Here, what is going on with my bubble technology here? What? I just pressed the button twice and it blasted me twice. Corny78, both of those blasts were for you. We've got a rare 2 blaster. Usually people don't get 2 blasts. Corny78, thank you very much for resubbing using Amazon Prime. And Juan Cena, I can't see you. Juan Cena, thank you very much for resubbing. Welcome in. Juan Cena and Corny78. Corny78, you're not wrestling manager Jim Cornette by any chance, are you? Corny Juan Cena, thanks for supporting me doing this. Thank you very much. But you have to say Seared Intercom. I could do that. That's maybe the name for it. Thank you, Valdrakian. Beneath headphones, you're pure lovely. Welcome in, folks. Are you greebling, odd or even? Feels like you want odd. What do you mean greebling? Greebling as in putting wee details on it. Nice using Clipper, been modifying it to work with Anycubic TFT screen, nearly finished it. Nice one, Candlelight. I'm not overly familiar with Clipper. I would like to eventually set up input shaping, which I haven't done yet. So I've bought the wee accelerometer, and I just need to wait till I've got a day free, and I would like to set up my input shaping. I must say, this one print that I did, it's the first print that I've done on my 3D printer in a year. Worked fine, worked great. I've got a BL touch that, makes sure that the bed, it knows where it all is, because my bed's a bit warped, because the printer's massive. So that print went fine. This other print, it's the same G-code, everything's exactly the same, just want to print another one, and 5 or 6 failed, it just wasn't sticking to the bed this morning. So, wee bit pissed off at that. Hello Pedropolis, welcome in. Hello everybody, welcome in. So if you're just here, I've created this intercom. So it's a work in progress. All the electronics aren't done, but it's essentially a big house for... So this is for an escape room for Yes It's Bland, who may or may not be in chat, but I think she's quite busy this weather. So she's maybe in a Wi-Fi black spot, but look at this. Look at this for a lovely CRT. So it's appropriately retro feeling, but then appropriately futuristic at the same time. I'm quite happy with how this turned out. So I need to do all the electronics, and it's cool because I haven't really built a device that works with analog video before. Look at that, man. Look at that. Look at that. I'm so happy with this. So I just hope all the electronics work good. I sat with ChatGPT for about 3 days, and I'm like, here's all the components that I need. Here's all the stuff that I need to do. What do you think about that? And it's like, well, you need a preamp. And I'm like, really? Aye. So I had to research all of that, and I'm like, right. So I reformed it all. So I haven't started actually building the electronics yet, but I've got a good feeling that it's all going to be all good. I'm a bit worried about just audio stuff that I don't really know about, like if I need a low gain pass filter, like ground audio isolation preamp. I don't know anything. Those words didn't make sense, but you know what I mean. See, when you're designing audio circuitry, sometimes you get stuff. So I'm looking forward to all of that. So we'll see how it goes. Is that what the thoughts from a bridge or whatever it's called use? I don't know what that is. My good news is I've been working, not really working, standing up all day and my legs don't hurt. Jebaru, that sounds brilliant. That sounds great. Are you doing regular stretches or what? Hello Pursue, welcome in, how's it going? Got plenty of good news when I get a moment to type it. You're a switch, Pursue. I can't wait to hear your good news. So I'll be off at about 3:15 because I've got a production meeting, but then I'll be back on a wee bit later. Just so that you know, I just want to moderate your expectations here. Pedropolis says, good news, I have an awful lot of new kites and a fresh battery for my battered laptop, so I can do out and about stuff with those wee cameras and SDR. Amazing! Do you stream that sort of stuff, Pedropolis? Because I don't think I'm following you. I'll just give you a wee follow there, because I want to see what all that's about. Make yourself a pot noodle. I'd love a pot noodle right now in Roll Duke. I don't think I could bring myself to pay £20 to get into a QP game. What's a QP game? 87 Oddrick says, Katy Perry coming back from space is very bad news. Imagine it blew up. Imagine, obviously this would be terrible, right? But imagine Katy Perry was going to space and then it went and then somebody on the internet dubbed it like, maybe you're a firework. So you're hearing music. Imagine she went to space and it blew up, like Challenger 13 or whatever it was, and then somebody dubbed it. Baby, you're a firework. Like that. Imagine that happened. Anyway. Started adding chopped jalapenos to a pot noodle. I can't eat jalapenos. I get hiccups. Don't know what the deal is. I get hiccups with jalapenos. I don't know if it's a mild allergy or whatever it is. Beneath headphones, I just seen a video of Jeff Bezos falling over as well. Ha ha! Carnivore says, good news. My mum's getting a squamous carcinoma removed right now after ages waiting to get rid of it. It was the low risk category, but was making her self-conscious because it's her face. She'll be done soon and back home, no worries. Carnivore, all the very best. I've only recently found out that this thing on my nose here, don't quite know if you can see it, of course you can see it, but see this thing here? I thought it was a freckle. Turns out it's a cyst. I've got a cyst right at the centre of my face, didn't even know it. My doctor told me. Anyway, you've done a sterling job with meeting those objectives for it. Thank you, Valdrakian. I'm really happy with this. I need it all to work, though. Star Trek Greebles even numbers, so things look ordered and purposeful. Star Wars Greebles odd, so things look a bit rough and a bit fucked. Interesting, Bowdy. My aesthetic tends to side more towards Star Wars aesthetics. Only because I've watched and built more Star Wars stuff. I don't think I've ever built a Star Trek stuff. That's the exact same spot as your mum. Interesting. Well, there you go. Look at that. All the very best. The doctor. I went to the doctor because I've got a thing on my neck. Got like, see this? Doesn't really look like much, but sometimes it gets kind of angry and itchy. But I think it's just the location because my clothes rub against it. Went to the doctor. I'm like, is this something to worry about? He's like, nah. I'm like, alright. He's like, is that something to worry about? He's like, it's a cyst. And I'm like, could you answer my question, please? He's like, no. So I'm like, oh, alright. But I think it's all fine. But he didn't mention removing it or surgery or anything like that. Kona, we're listening to my mate Paul. So my mate Paul does music, and Hal has just put his SoundCloud and YouTube. We'll turn it up a wee bit. How's that? That's it, turned up a wee bit. I didn't know that about Star Trek and Star Wars, Bowdy. That's a good fact. When I'm detailing things, usually odd numbers looks visually interesting. Anybody that makes graphics or painting or whatever will know that odd numbers looks more visually interesting than even numbers. Even numbers of things tend to look divine or pure or whatever, whereas odd numbers can look just more interesting. You know what I mean? Thank you, Pedropolis. I'll have a look at that in a second. So like religious stuff or whatever, we'll use symmetry. Symmetry. Anyway. Pursue says, good news, had a lovely soak and dug around for more inspiration and ideas for my project. Hit the jackpot with the making of the Dark Crystal, and first shot they're working on the beetle crab-like heavies. There's even a claw and urated-like legs. Amazing. I wonder if there's like a making of book of the Dark Crystal that'll show like production shots or whatever. Also, Pursue, check out the replica prop forum for people that have maybe replicated props for the Dark Crystal, because there might be close-up production images. Also check out the Prop Store website, which is an online auction of screen-used and replica props. And it's been going for decades, so at some point they might have sold Dark Crystal props, and if so, there'll be good close-up images of different things. But that would be cool. How good is it, like, finding good reference for things? And all the very best with your project. Bezos fell on his face and JD Vance dropped a trophy. Cool. Child of an Android, who's another streamer, just gave me a shout out to 34 viewers. Thank you very much for doing that, Child of an Android. Don't know who the person is. Don't know who they are. But thanks for doing that. Let's see if they're even following me. I mean, they look cool. They've been streaming for 9 hours. Oh, did I just get a raid? I was just checking you out. Child of an Android, thank you very much for the raid. I saw that you had shouted me out, and I was like, I don't know if I recognise that name. So then I clicked through, and I was like, they look cool. It's like a DJ setup or whatever. And then all of a sudden it showed my own face. So hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome in. If you're just joining us, I'm 1030, my pronouns are he, him, and welcome in. Today, I am showing off a device that I'm making for an escape room. So this here is like a cool thing that I've just 3D printed, and I'm in the middle of 3D printing a second one of these. And this here is like an intercom, so that people in an escape room can pick up a phone and have a video call. It's a spaceship themed. It's a spaceship themed escape room. So it means that they can phone up and ask for help for somebody who's on another spaceship. Thanks for a second raid. So Child of an Android just raided again. Every time you raid, I get a bubble blast. So that's what that is. So I've got a wee, like two raids happened there. Anyway, welcome in folks, how you doing? I'm just filling in, telling you about all my stuff. Anyway, at the start of the stream we like to share good news. If you've got any good news, please stick it in the chat. MGens has just had an ADHD diagnosis. They've shared it with us. MGen says the biggest thing is the realisation that there isn't something inherently wrong with me. I'm not lazy, unmotivated or a bad person or anything. I've just got a differently wired brain. I've been beating myself up for years for being different from others with absolutely no context about how my brain actually works. It's mind-blowing. How fucked is it that a lot of us need to wait a long time in order to get those things? It doesn't work for a one viewer raid. I think the viewers need to be like 5 or above or something like that. I don't know how it works. Otherwise somebody could seriously drown me with bubbles. Child of an Android, thanks very much for the raid, and thanks very much for the sub. Glad to raid. ADHD diagnosis is hard to get, I know the pain. Well, that's what I'm going through. I've had to contact my local MP or MSP to try and chase up why I've been refused ADHD assessment. But MGens is all sorted. MGens has got it all figured out. So I'm definitely autistic. Definitely I've been diagnosed and stuff. But I also think I've got ADHD as well. And I wouldn't mind the pills. So we'll see how it goes. But welcome in folks, how you doing? So I've just 3D printed that. And then I've got a second 3D print currently on the go just now. And hopefully that'll take... And hopefully that 3D print there will work good. But we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed everything's all brilliant. But anyway, so welcome in folks. Welcome in. So I've got an idea for all the electronics, but I don't fully know if it's all going to work. So I've got a production meeting, so I'm producing a feature film alongside Scroobius Pip, and we've got a production meeting in about an hour and 20 minutes or something, so I don't want to get set up fully just now and then have to leave. But when I'm coming on later tonight, I'll be doing all the electronics for this intercom, and we might even get it all finished tonight, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, what is everybody having for their lunch? I'm a wee bit hungry. So when you're doing Greebles, you want to do it in odd numbers. That sounds good, Bowdy. I'm into it. I didn't know the odd even Star Trek versus Star Wars Greeble setup. Hello, Roscoe. Thanks very much for subbing. Roscoe says, Roscoe says, more like a pro-fuction meeting, am I right? You're wrong there, because that's highly disrespectful to the guy for Scottish Screen who we're meeting. So... Can I say that in here? Here, everybody, see Roscoe there? Don't know if you know, but Roscoe is the spirit of Glasgow. Like, actually, being awarded by Sir Billy Connolly and everything and all of that. Legend, man. Exactly, Carivore. Roscoe, thanks very much for the sub. Welcome in, man. How's it even going? So if you're just joining us, basically, I've 3D printed a mad spaceship intercom device that's got a CRT television inside. I found out that this is a cyst on my fucking nose. I've got a profuction meeting at 3:30, and everything's just going good, and my dog's barking in the background, and I've not had anything to eat. I'm a wee bit hungry. Anyway, so welcome in, folks. How's it even going? And Child of an Android, thanks very much for the raid. Roscoe, Child of an Android, and Juancina and Corny, thanks very much for subbing as well. And Oatlands Raider. Oatlands Raider, more like Oatlands Subber. Thanks very much for the bubbles and thanks for your Prime sub. Alright, how's it going? Dearie me. I hope you're all good. So at the start of the stream, we share any good news. If you've got any good news, let me know what it is. MGens is in the US, so it was relatively simple. I started a new group therapy group, and the psychiatrist that runs it says I likely have ADHD. Amazing, MGens, that's really cool. Congratulations. I think over here there is a shortage of medication. So in order to just like not admit that people are being under-medicated, they've stopped assessing people. And like, that's a pain in the arse, isn't it? So I've got a friend who's got another friend who's got a friend who's buying like illegal, dodgy, counterfeit medication from Iran and pure importing it. And I want to get right into that, man. Do you know what I mean? Child and Android, thanks very much for 100 bits. Thank you very much for the bitties. Thanks very, very much for the raid and the sub and the bits. That's a trifecta. What a legend. Red have started legal proceedings to take the award back. Oh my god, everybody! Is this a wee dog in my room? Hey, Freddy, you're not supposed to be in here. Get a wee dog. Freddy, touch! Booba snoot. Freddy, booba snoot. Rachel's there. Hi, Rachel. So he's like, oh no, am I going to get chucked out? Oh no, am I going to be a good wee boy? I know, Pepper, he's not supposed to be in here. None of these are supposed to be in here. I mean, I can't eat soup on stream, that's a bit stinking, isn't it? It would be a different type of stream, wouldn't it? I'll just have something. I'll end it at about 3:15 and I'll have some food before the production meeting. But thank you very much. Are you alright? How you doing? Rachel, everybody, she's here and she feels a wee bit sicky. That's her hand. And then Fred's just here out of shot as well. Imagine I left alone and this was just all elaborate setups, do you know what I mean? Like Doug Disney exists. Aye, it's a puppet. You alright? Yeah. Just rummaging in her... No. Thank you. No, well, not at all slanderous. Just telling the truth. Just telling the truth. Just telling the truth. Hey, Freddy's getting peanut butter. See you later. It's all my people there. So welcome in, folks. Oland Raider, thank you very much for the sub. How you doing? Welcome in. How's it even going? So aye, Roscoe, could you get Billy Conley on a Rust server, man? Aye, that would be really good. One will do that. One will just do that. Hello, Codeway TD, welcome in. Hey boss, some good news. I think I'm really close to finishing my first game. Holy shit! What you making it in? Just doing some polishing up. The game itself is a little shite, but it's about the skills I learned, which means the second game will be better. 100%. 100%. Codeway TD, that sounds brilliant. On my bucket list is to make some sort of computer game before I die. I'd love to do that. Roscoe, I'm no eating the soup, man. You can't eat soup on a stream. You just can't do it. It's stinking. Roderick says, it seems fucking impossible to get any sort of diagnosis for anything, even for a GP these days. Even a basic thing, you're just told to get to fuck. Aye. GPs are like that. Fuck off, man. But to be fair to them, they're very underfunded and it's a wee shame. But if you go into a doctor just now, he's going to be like that. First thing the doctor does when you go in is like that. What? You sit down, you're like, hello, like my arm's falling off. Any chance Like he's no looking up, man. He's just like that. But to be fair to them, they're going through a lot, these doctors, aren't they? I don't know how it all works. But basically my doctor's saying in order to get treatment, I'll probably need to go private, but if I do go private, the NHS won't acknowledge it. So I would need to pay private money to get private pills. And in order to be assessed, it's about $1,500 or $2,000. Like, fuck off, man. What are you talking about? Pay tax and all that? Keys my fucking pills, man. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've contacted my MSP and I called this current practice like discriminatory and all of that sort of stuff. And they're at least pretending that they're interested. They're like, oh, yeah. So they're looking into it for me. But I next saw me Dando's pills and they were magic and I want just more of them. Conabis says, I was reading earlier about how a new synthetic opiate that has been added to prescription style medication that people are buying online. Be careful. Interesting. Conabis. I mean, usually you need to pay more to have your shit mixed with opiates. But no, that's very good to know. It's very good to know. How good would it be though if we just had a solid healthcare service so that I didn't need to buy dodgy pills for Iran? That'd be good. Got a mannequin arm on a pulley for Rachel. Aye. And a series of like voice clips. And one day I'll embarrass myself by accidentally pressing the same voice clip for Rachel twice. 87 Roderick says, I was chasing a wee dog about my bit last night, by the way. It wasn't with anyone, so I followed him about. Someone got him and took him to a vet and all was good. Amazing, Roderick. I like wee adventures. But thanks for helping the wee dog. I mean, you didn't explicitly say that you were helping him. You just said you were chasing him about and then somebody else helped him. But I assume the intent was there. Gary Black, how you doing? Would love to talk more about this ADHD assessment stuff, but can't too much publicly. But to quote someone anonymously, the thing is, if you're on the waiting list for assessment, you're going to pass, so what's the point? Boils my blood. Well, Gary Black, turns out a lot of people who were on a waiting list now aren't, and they don't even know it, because the list that they were on is for a department that's since been shut down, and a lot of people that I've been speaking to don't even know that the department's been shut down. So they're like, I've been on the waiting list for 2 years, and it's a 5-year wait. It's like, it isn't anymore, because that service just doesn't exist anymore, and they've not told you. So anybody who is on a ADHD assessment waiting list, chase it up. And if it doesn't sound good, get your MSP involved. Anyway, using Godot, just a little puzzle platformer. TD, that sounds dynamite. Are you streaming it? Are you back and fully set up and stuff like that? How's the NHS sabotage not a misconduct in public office? What's the CPS and all this? I don't know anything about all of the letters per se. It's ADHD is my letters. Phoned up my ADHD. Phoned up my GP to get assessed for ADHD. There was more, wasn't there? A couple of streams ago I had like 5 initializations that I fit into the one sentence and it was funny, but I've since forgotten about it. You get the idea. Anyway. I hope you're good, Carnivore. I've just seen... Hello, Gibbs, by the way, welcome in. I'm crashing, man, on a badging. Are you alright, Carnivore? What's happening? Anyway. Where are we? I think my good news got missed. Oh no, Lumperly! I was a wee bit distracted there, sorry. I'm going to click your name. Lumperly says, good news, I got a few sales from the felt Minecraft cakes that I made on the co-working stream. Fucking yes, Lumperly. How good is doing something you love and then getting paid for it? Now, something very important. Say because you did that while on the co-working stream, legally I'm entitled to 15% of all sales. And it's non-negotiable, I'm afraid. So you should know. I should have said that before I encourage you to work alongside me. No, seriously, that's cool. Fucking yes. I think we'll do regular co-working streams because quite often I don't take care of the rest of my life because I'm streaming. But then You know what I mean? If I can do both, see, maybe once a fortnight or something, we'll do a co-working stream. I'm going to try and get a regular schedule set up. Anyway. Lumpslace. Alright, I've just read that, sorry. I've just read. No, but you reposted it, so I'm confused. Got you. Everything's brilliant. I was deaf tempted to steal it, to be fair. It was a wee belter. Aye. Do you remember Monty? Remember a wee dog was running about outside? And Rachel and I initially went out to find a cat that was reported missing, and a wee dog just ran up to us like, I'm lost and I'm a Doug and I don't know. So we're like, right, more in the house. So it came in the house and it was just like this. And eventually we found the owner. And see, when we found the owner, I was gutted, man, because I loved this wee dog. I was so tempted to just be like, just patch the owner, but I would feel guilty. And if we did have that dog, we would now have 3 dogs. And as my pal Tony says, you should never have more dogs than you've got hands, because they want scratches. So if you're scratching 2 dogs, there'll be a 3rd dog that's like pure jostling for position. So you never have more dogs than you've got hands is a rule. So it probably all ended up well. Anyway, they're called nitazines. It's 2,000 times the strength of heroin. Jesus Christ. Thanks for the warning there. TD says, yeah, I think I'm doing the game dev streams on Thursday nights and just general StreamerBot stuff on Tuesdays. Amazing. I still need to figure out my StreamerBot stuff. So for the longest time, I'll get a bubble blast every time somebody gives over 100 bits, subs, raids, gift subs, other stuff, right? Except from when I'm in a BRB screen or when I'm on like my phone screen, say I'm up in the loft or something, I've paused the queue when in those scenes, and then a couple of months ago I was fucking about with it and I've broken it. So now if I'm in one of the other scenes and one of those actions happen, it just moves back to this scene and it'll bubble blast an empty chair, and I keep meaning to take like half a day and just get my head into it and be like, right, what am I doing here? Because it's caused a wee bit of bother. Like the last stream that I did, the first 5 minutes was just an empty chair. Just a caffeine come down, dynamite carnivore. Here, I really am thinking about ordering food, man. But I don't think I can, because McDonald's, Burger King, all of that support the IDF. And so, I can't do that, especially not in public, you know what I mean? So I don't really know. Is Tim Hortons good? I've got one of them nearby. Are they safe? Rolduke says, this is obviously a whole thing, but it seems like the GP service has effectively been privatised. There's no real oversight or accountability, just public money given to practices booting the arse right out of things. It's fucked up, Rolduke, 100% it's fucked up. Especially, we're in Scotland, and health is devolved as far as I know, which means we should be doing it better than that lot. But we're no. What? Lumpily, the check's in the post, thank you very much. I'll let you know when it arrives. If the Crown's prosecution service aren't interested, a class action would be wise. I don't know what the deal is. I think they just don't have any money, or they do have money but they're no putting it towards ADHD or something. I don't know. Combined, we do have 4 human hands in the house, but you can't guarantee that there's 4 hands in the house at any time. You know what I mean? Anyway, what if you have dexterous feet? Well, it's between you, your feet and the Dougs. Hello Cater Cakes, how's it going? People for Cowdenbeath can have 3 dogs each. There you go. What's happening? Kate, you alright? Subway? I don't know, man. I don't know. Will I look on my phone and see where it delivers food? One will get food. You into it? I need to end my stream in about 45 minutes. But if you're just in, made one of these. This got 3D printed and it finished at about 10 in the morning, this morning. And this here is a intercom. It's not finished yet, obviously, but it's like a wall-mounted intercom for a spaceship themed escape room. And it's using this CRT telly, and I'm really happy at how it's all working like. So if I just do this, slots in there magic. Look at that. And then there's a wee bit for the camera. You should see how nicely the camera slots in. Oh, it's just like friction fit, and it's all like flush and all of that. It's brilliant. So then there's going to be like a ring of lights round about here. Then some sort of thing that means that I can put a phone on here. And this will go up into there, and that's big enough. So it'll be like that. Wonder if I could do this. So what I haven't figured out is how it mounts to a wall. Don't really know about that. Alright, maybe that doesn't fit in. Aye, I will be able to get it to fit in. So that does that. Anyway, but you get the idea. So there's two of these, and when somebody at the other side lifts the handset, then the other side to them starts to ring and light up and flash and stuff. And if both handsets are lifted, you've got two-way video audio communication. And I'm quite excited to do all the electronics for that. But I can't jump in, can't get started because I'm in a production meeting for Scroobius Pip's film in about an hour or so. So I just sort of need to sit here and be cool with all of that. However, as I said, so I've just 3D printed this, but happening at the same time is another 3D print of the same object, right? So it's a really large 3D printer that I've got, and because it's so large, it's a pain in the arse quite often. See, the bigger a 3D printer is, the heavier the bed is that moves, and like the more, if you imagine like the travel going from left to right, right? See if there's just like half a degree off. That means over a longer distance, it's like that error compounds, you know what I mean? So a big 3D printer like this is a pain in the arse to get working. And the print behind me that I've just showed you worked fine, but this print that I've started today just wasn't starting properly. And basically the vibe is with a 3D printer, if your first layer goes down good, then the rest of it will probably end up okay. But if your first layer's got errors in it, something bad's going to happen at some point. So just before the stream, I set this up to print, and I don't know how it's doing. So what we'll maybe do is go upstairs just now, and we will have a look. Are you into it? You into it? We'll go up and we'll have a look at the 3D print, and we'll see how well it's going. What's the coolest thing you've ever 3D printed? Do you know, I don't know. Look at my eye, man, with these bubbles. Probably R2-D2's head. Depends what you define as cool. Maybe this tiny version of Scroobius Pip. 3D scan Scroobius Pip, got somebody to model it. I sent it to Pip for approval, and he fed back that his bulge should be more prominent. So, told that to the 3D modeler. She made his bulge Look at that. If anything, it's now too prominent. So that's cool. I'm into that. I also 3D printed R2-D2's like holo projector. And that's a really nice thing because there aren't so many of these. Hi Pip, how you doing? I've mentioned it. I'm mentioning it multiple times, Pip. Here, funny I was talking about your bulge and you've just appeared. That's weird, isn't it? Anyway, enjoy your meeting. I will see you. I'll be ready for about 3:20 or so. Because it's an important one today, isn't it? Let's go upstairs and we will have a look at the thing that's printing. Pip summoned by his bulge. Imagine just showing up on a stream, right? Just twitch.tv/whoever. And as soon as you show up, the streamer's talking about your bulge. Say his bulge and he appears. His name's Scroobius Pip. Need to rewrite that. The syllables kind of fuck it up. His name is Scroobius Pip. That's a wee bit better. If I wasn't holding a phone, I would do the claps. But I'm holding a phone. We'll go upstairs, we'll have a wee look, and we will see. By the way, right, you haven't really seen it here. Check this out. So this is the back side, right? That's your phone. So I've got two of these. And this just slots in there. Brilliant. And so on the front, look at this, man. Oh, I'm so happy with how that's turned out. And it's quite a large 3D print. So I've put holes here for it to somehow mount onto something. But I've not really figured out how it's going to mount onto something. So I need to figure that. I think I might need to make like a wooden back plate. So I've got some plywood over here. So maybe need to make like a wooden back plate for both of them. Mount it onto that, job done, there you go. But we will see. We will see. Anyway, let's head upstairs and see if the other... I know, I've just walked out a door. Now you're barking because I walked out a door. Pepper, grow up, mate. Pepper, grow up. People can walk outdoors. Ah. Arr. 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 Right. You behave yourself. Freddie, you tell her, man. Freddie, tell Pepper to stop that and carry on. Freddie, this is your fault. She doesn't know better. Pepper. What is it? You telling me that I'm going up a ladder? I know. I already know. Pepper, grow up. She does my head in, man. She does my head in. So here is up the stairs. And wee bit messy just now because I'm in the middle of designing an intercom. And let's go over here and we'll see how that's going. Aye, that's going down quite well. Do you know, if anything, I would say there's too many gaps between the lines. But at least it's sticking to the bed. So what I would like to do is maybe up the extrusion multiplier. And I can do... And do it manually. So if I up the extrusion %, right, then we'll go over and we'll have a wee... These lines aren't meeting. That's worrying. And it's a wee bit mad that like I've just 3D printed another version of this. But as you can see, you might not be able to see, but these lines have got gaps between them. You see that? And they shouldn't have gaps between them. So that's a pain in the arse. Also, that doesn't look very good. So I've just upped the extrusion multiplier, which means it's pumping out more material than it used to. Do you know what? I think I might cancel this print and just try and reprint it. We're getting a spot here, but I know what that is. That's fine. That's just because my bed is sort of got an air bubble in it. But this isn't looking great, is it, lads? I mean, the material is sticking to the bed, but I wonder why the print settings are so drastically different than just a few hours ago when I printed something. I'm tempted to just let it run because I kind of need this, and even if it looks not great, it's fine because the other one looks good, and this one can be the staff. You know what I mean? Also, I'm going to be putting lots of filler on it and painting it and things like that. But why is it not working good? Here, will we cancel this and just try and restart it? But this is what I've been doing all morning, folks. And it's beginning to do my tits in because I'd quite like to have two of the nice things that I've printed. 3D printing is just trial and error quite often. And, well, big every error. 3D printer is huge. It is, Bally. It is. We're getting wee Fs. Hold on, I'll drop it down to 720p. Oh, we're already on 720p. If I do this, are we better now? Let's do that. So you'll get lower quality. Oh, here, what I need to do as well is I need to set up a Droid Cam, because I'm still streaming using Epoch Cam, and Epoch Cam's getting discontinued. So still need to figure out Droid Cam. My connection just died for 10 minutes, so I can't tell who's effing and jeffing. Is everything alright for everybody else? Anyway. The sad part is you'd already scaled up his bulge significantly in the first place. Well, I'm saying nothing. Stream is good? Cool. Cool. I'll keep it low resolution and just for connectivity. But here's the deal, right? I think what we have to do is, if I go up here and then I just go to cancel the print, right? You need to pause it first. Then you wait on it doing that. Come on. And then I'll just stop it. Cancel print. But that'll make my heated bed cool down. So I want to do that and make my heated bed stay at 60. Right? And I want to raise my nozzle a wee bit, just because it'll be touching the bed if I don't. You see that? So that's the 3D print cancelled because it just wasn't working good. So now what I'm going to do is go over how we doing for time. We should have enough time. Let's go over here. And what you need is one of these. And see, this is the problem. Look at this. See, look. So the lines are connecting at some bits, but then at other bits, look at that. That's no good. That's not a good 3D print. So if I'd continued that, the actual object would be no very good at all. So what you need to do with all of this stuff is just immediately stick it in the bin, because if you don't, wee bits of plastic get under your eyelids and in your skin creases and all of that. So that's me done that. What I like to do as well is I like to use Elnet Satin HD Extra Strength Turbo Tournament Edition hairspray and just give it a quick blast. And then what we need to do is go back over to the computer and we go in to height map and then calibrate. So what this does is it deploys a wee sensor. So wait till you see this, it's kind of nifty. This is called a BL Touch, right? So you see what it's doing? There's like a wee finger that comes out, and it finds out in a grid formation, I think it's like 5x5, and it finds out exactly the depth of various points on the bed. So once it's done that, so it's on row 2 of 5 just now. So I need to do this at the start of every print. Again, because the bed is so large, so it does that 25 times, and then those positions are fed into like a 3D model in here, and that tells the computer how distorted the bed is, because that glass bed is fairly wavy. It's not flat at all. And so when it's printing, it will account for the geometry being off, which is kind of cool. Hold on, where's my Twitch chat? James is made up of approximately 37.5 plastic. Aye. Know how they're finding plastic in people's brains and balls and stuff like that? I think I'm one of the candidates, because every time I come into this room I can smell burning plastic. And I think people will soon realise that 3D printer enthusiasts are like high-end susceptible for all that sort of nonsense. So Lord Bear, I bought a printer a long time ago, but I've modified almost every single bit of it. So I sort of built it. I would say I've built about half of it, but it's based on an existing thing. My other smaller 3D printer's tucked in here, and then here I've got a resin 3D printer as well. But that one is the big one, and I need the big one to do this. Is the material no recyclable? No, really, no. And it is quite wasteful, definitely is. Was that an open can next to the printer? Aye, Carivore. So the crossbeam bit, don't know if I can show you here. So there's a crossbeam bit, right? And you sometimes, because the printer's a pain in the arse, one side of that crossbeam can go higher or lower than the other. So right at the very start of the day, before I put the power on, before I energise the motors, I put 2 cans either side, and then manually adjust the height of each one so that that's like locked in, and then I'll energise the motors, and for that point it doesn't really drift. But if you don't have something, I'm going to try and buy like machinist blocks or something, which is what I should really be doing, rather than cheap cans of energy drinks that I got for the spa. Worked with plastic for 35 years, must be 95% plastic by now. Aye, 100%. 100%. Okie dokie. So, what you've just seen it do is create this model, right? So this is how warped my bed is. And that's one of the biggest reasons why the print's failing so much. I mean, this is an exaggerated version of it, right? So I could go in and I could adjust the side wheels, but here's the deal. See, the corners are like more or less in the right position. So let's just go back into the dashboard. And so I've created intercom V3, right? Intercom V3 is the version of this that isn't working. So see, just out of curiosity, let's try and print intercom V2 just to see if that'll work. And just fingers crossed. So the extrusion factor wasn't up to 118 when that was on the go, so let's just put that back down there. And all this shit looks quite good. I will turn the speed down to about 80% for the first layer. And what I'm going to do is something quite brave. I'm going to just, I think, walk away from it and just hope for the best, and then check on it in a wee bit. So, right, if all of that works, because here's the deal, I need both housings before I can build all the components. And remember, so this is for an intercom, and I can show you the intercom. Pedropolis is asking just now. It looks like I'm just getting all my Discord messages through just now. Pedropolis was asking, are we due a stream today? Streaming right now, Pedropolis. Hold on, I've just realised I don't have Twitch chat in front of me, but I can sort of show you the intercom working. Because I've only got about half an hour really before I need to get ready for this a production meeting. Hello Katoon, how you doing? Zero Day, thanks very much for the raid. How's it going? Flatulent Gonad, 2 raids at the same time. Flatulent Gonad, thank you very much for the raid as well. Hello raiders, welcome in. If you're just joining, I'm 1030, my pronouns are he, him. And I'm up in the loft because today, sorry the aspect ratio and stuff's a bit fucked, but we were having problems. We're up in the loft, and right now, so there's R2D2, there's the big 3D printer, and we're trying to convince the 3D printer to work, basically. And it's not quite working, but it's nearly working. So I'm building thanks very much for the raid, Flatulent Gonad and Zero Day. So I'm building an intercom for an escape room, and I can roughly show you how it's going to look. So I've not coded any of the logic or whatever, but if I turn this, you'll be able to see it's all using analog video. So it's using this wee camera here, and it's just using RCA, and annoyingly this shows up kind of flashy on the stream. Oh, well, that's kind of stable. That's kind of a stable image. So the end result is you get like a black and white image, and it's cool, man. It's really, really cool. So you'll see it flicker here. See, in reality, when I'm looking at it, it's a very stable image. It looks really good in real life, but it looks kind of bad on Twitch for some reason. So I don't know what the deal is there. But I'm really happy with this setup. So what I need to do is connect it to, here's all my shopping list of stuff. I've got big 20-meter cables, RCA cables. I've got preamps because this is getting used either side of the intercom. And then I've got like the actual amps. I don't know if I need 2 of these, but it is what it is. One of them is an LM386, and another one is whatever this is, MAX9812. So that's a microphone amplifier. So I think the mic goes into that and then goes into that. But I think when that goes into that, that might be level enough. That might be level enough. And then what else have I got? So I've got wee bits and pieces. I've got switches and stuff like that. So, right now, what's happening is, let's turn this off. What's happening is, over here, I am trying to 3D print the housing for this intercom. And the first intercom worked out really fine. But the second 3D print isn't working very good. So Fairman is asking, do I plan to use this in production? So this is a commission from somebody I know who may or may not be in chat, actually, called Yes It's Bland. And they are running an escape room. Do you know, this looks alright. It looks a bit too close to the bed. Looks a bit sort of thin on this side. But maybe being a bit too close to the bed is better than previously, because it was all just sort of coming up. I'm tempted to kind of lower it on the right hand side. Also, is that sticking? Aye, that's sticking good. And for here round is a bit too close to the bed. I'm going to just pull this out of the path, so it's just perimeter, so that's fine. I've got a feeling, hold on, so there's a thing underneath this where if I just rotate a thing that way slightly, then it might not be so close on the next pass. But I've got a better feeling about this one than I did about the previous one. So let's just see. So it will be used in a real life escape room. So I was commissioned to do 2 puzzles. Well, 1 puzzle and an intercom. Aye, that's looking a wee bit healthier now. So I'm going to just leave that going, and as I said, it's getting it's going to be covered in like paint and filler and stuff like that as well. So if there's just a bit that doesn't look visually brilliant. It's kind of part of it because this full thing, like the spaceship, is kind of Star Wars themed, where it looks lived in and stuff, rather than Star Trek themed, where it looks immaculate. So I'll keep that going for a bit, see how it looks, and then maybe up the speed. And then when that's 3D printing, I'm going to work on all the electronics. So in each one of these, there will be an Arduino Nano. Let's actually go over and see if we've got Arduino Nanos, or if I need to order them. Yep. Well, maybe not. I'm maybe missing one. So that's one there. I like to use them in like a breakout fashion. So that's one. Might need to order another one. Or well, I should order some just to have in stock anyway. I really like these breakout boards. They're cool. So let's see if we can find another Arduino Nano. We need some NeoPixels for this as well. Or well, I call them just WS2811 LEDs, obviously. I was going to use a sound module, but instead I've just decided to use like a piezo. Just to keep it a lot simpler. I think I might be down. So here's my piezos. Have I got two that are the same? Not really. So I'll order two of them and a Nano. So I'll do that just now and see if I can get them delivered for tomorrow. Unless, maybe a Nano in here. Just move my Nag Champa out the road. Because there is some Arduino-y stuff in here. Nah, no nanos. No nanos. Nah, no nanos. Hold on, there's another Arduino bucket down here. So the reason I'm using an Arduino Nano and not another Arduino is because the Nanos take 12 volts. So I think I'll use one of these for each one. And so I'll maybe order another couple of these, so that'll light up when it starts to ring. That'll be kind of cool. And it looks like I need to find some nanos. So I've got one, which means I can develop one of them, but maybe just not the other one. Also, I've got some development boards in here, but I think these are all Raspberry Pi themed. There's a big box of Pis. Yep, so I've got a Pi Pico, different Raspberry Pis. There's an Arduino Mega. Is that no, it's an ESP32. It'd be great if I had one wee Arduino Nano kicking about, but I think I used my last one for the previous puzzle that I made for the lads. Is that a wee Nano? I mean, I've kinda... Right, I could use that for prototyping when I'm waiting on the thing coming through. But I think I've set this up in order to be able to flash stuff. So I'll use both of them for prototyping. And I think I'll go downstairs just now and just order more nanos. And I need to go through the parts list. Aye, no nanos. Need to go through the parts list and that's all mad 3D print and stuff. And try and get next day delivery on some stuff. What I also need are some of these. So these are wee MOSFETs. work kind of like relays, but they're a bit more robust, and you can do PWM on them. So I quite like these. I ended up buying a lot of these recently. But aye, that's a shame. I thought I had more nanos in here. Ah well, looks like I need to just go and buy stuff. Unless there could be some in here. I've got an Arduino Pro Micro. I've got 2 Arduino Pro Micros. I guarantee as soon as I buy stuff, I will realise that I've already got it here. But, look, there's no harm in having spares. There we sound modules. So, I could still wire up a lot of stuff tonight, but it looks like I can't get right into it because I don't have the exact bits. So maybe I need to wait till tomorrow. What's this gear? Not that. So one day I'll need to come in and label all of this stuff. Like this. Let's see all these labels, because it is really handy to find things. But I think I've just slowly accepted that I don't have another one. So we need to buy it. Okie dokie, let's go downstairs and buy some kits. Let's go downstairs and buy some kits. To the downstairs. Bum 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 bum, going downstairs to buy some kit off of the fucking internet. And hopefully that 3D print is now up and running and brilliant. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Oh. And what I also need to do is try out the Droid Cam. Right, give me a wee second, because we have had a sub. And every subscriber in here, you're a big box of pies, Roscoe. Every sub in here gets a bubble blast. So let me get all of that up and running for you. Any minute now. Any minute now, that bubble blast. Look at all my bubble blasts are all fucked, man. I'm a bit worried about it. Need to fix them. So I've pressed it twice now. So does that mean I'm going to get 2 blasts, one after another? More than likely. More than bloody likely. Anyway, weighing a lake. Thank you very much for subbing using Amazon Prime. Thank you very much for that. Now, weighing a lake, you are a first-time subscriber in this channel, and that entitles you to a wee bit of one-on-one eye contact. It only happens once, and it's when you first sub. So could everybody else please look away now? And weighing a lake, this is your eye contact. Everybody can look back now. Weighing a lake, thank you very much for subbing using Amazon Prime. Also, every time you sub, you get a bubble blast as well. So I hope you enjoyed your bubble blast. Carivore, you've just redeemed Hydrate. Thank you very much, Hydrate. Everybody, you can look back now. Flatshell and Gonad says the hotbed looks big enough for warming 20 pasties at once. It's a pain in the arse, that printer. It really is. See, printing small stuff, much easier. See that big printer? You look at it the wrong way and it's just like, I'm out of alignment. Oh, I'm out of it. I'm not going to do it very good. And it takes hours. And when you try to fix it, you're like all hunched over because it's on the ground. Then your circulation to your feet stops. So then standing up is like you get dizzy and all that. Pain in the arse. Oh, it's a pain in the arse. Hello, Bloom & Co. Welcome in. How you doing? I've not seen you for a bit. Welcome in. Dawn says, can't be good for your back. Nothing's good for my back. Welcome in as well, Beadle, and I didn't see you earlier. I hope you're doing good. So aye, that's the project. And if you're just in for one of the raids or whatever, here is what I'm trying to print. So it's an intercom device, and because it's an intercom I need two of them. So this is one that just came off the print bed this morning. I quite like how it looks. It looks heavy industrial, and it's unfinished obviously, so there'll be like a wee sort of lip that goes round the top, kind of like a rain shield sort of thing, sort of like the brim of a cap, and that'll make it look kind of futuristic. Then I'm going to add on just bits of stuff once it's all painted up and things, but I quite like how it's looking. And then this here is a real glass CRT from like the 90s. So I've got two of them, and what I really need is for this 3D print that is currently in process, I need this to work, man. I really need this to work. So I'll be keeping an eye on it for the next wee bit. And if that goes good, then all I need to do is figure out all the electronics. But I think I've got most of what I need. I need to buy an Arduino Nano and another wee bit of stuff. And so I'll maybe do that just now before I forget. But that's us at 3 o'clock, everybody. Listen, I've got a production meeting for Scroobius Pip's film at 3:30, and I've not had any food today, right? So what I'm going to do is love you and leave you, because I need to go and get some food in. And otherwise the production meeting, I'll be all like, I won't be, you know, able to give it my fullest. And this production meeting's like quite an important one. So I'm going to end stream. We're going to go over to Les Dennis, who is working on like a PlayStation style game, and it's going to be really good. This is for the escape room, Fergster. Aye, so the escape room is spaceship themed, and the intercom is for when the people are in the escape room and they need a bit of help. So instead of just like sticking their head out the door to the person that works there saying, we need help, I don't know how to solve this, we've themed the help system so that it works in the spaceship. So now they go over to a comms panel, they lift up an old school phone, and they've got an analog video chat with an actor who's elsewhere, dressed up as if they're in a spaceship themselves. So the video chat with the actor will be as if they're hailing a nearby ship for assistance. You know what I mean? And it'll just keep it within the world of the thing. And I think it'll be kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, everybody, let's go over and raid Les Dennis. Sorry for the short stream today. If you're upset that I've not given you a full stream, do you know who to blame? It's Scroobius Pip. Scroobius Pip is who to blame. Because he's got me involved in making him, or helping him make a big amazing film. Thanks very much for coming in, everybody. Please keep it real, take it easy. My name's James Houston, and Houston's boosting. But before I do that, here is a magic trick. Would you like to see a magic trick? I think I fucked that. I think that's the worst magic trick I've ever done. No, it looked alright. Looked alright. I'm seeing it on the delay. Looked alright. My hair doesn't. That looked alright. See you later, everybody. Bye. Let's go over and speak to Les Dennis, who's making a PlayStation style game using free software. That's cool, isn't it? Anyway, I'll be on later tonight because I've got loads of work to do on this thing. So I'll be live streaming it for the loft. See you later.